Okay, let's add one more detail to this thing. I'm going to go to the back view, select this face, and hit X to create a sketch on it. Then I'll hit the S key for shortcut. We're going to go down to our slot tools and expand those and choose the center point straight slot. Now I want to start in the middle of this document and then move straight up, click somewhere like right about there, and then come out and click right about there. I don't know, something like that. And then I'll hit the Escape key to drop that tool. Now by default, SOLIDWORKS has added some dimensions for us, and I'm not sure that I like those dimensions. Now if I click on one of them, I can always change it. So let's say I could set that to 35, hit enter, and everything's going to update. But that's not exactly what I want to do. Let's hit the Escape key and click on that dimension and delete it. I'm also going to click this other one and delete that as well, because I want to show you how easy it is to kind of freeform this stuff into place. If you don't know what the dimensions are supposed to be, who cares? Let's just drag stuff around. Now if I drag one of these points, you're going to see things kind of slide around in a maybe unpredictable kind of way at first. You have to get used to this. Each different piece of geometry adjusts the slot in a different way. Now one thing I do know is that I want for the center of this slot to be coincident with the origin of our sketch. So I'm going to drag it there, and then I don't want that to move on us by accident. So if I look up here in this heads up display, there's a make fixed command. I'm just going to click that, and that just locks that center point down for us. So now when I drag this around, that part stays in the same place. This is going to let me adjust this really nice and easily. Let's just get that something like that so that it's just inside of our circle. Head over to our features, do an extrude boss. We'll go back to our right view, and I don't know, something about like that. Exit that, and that looks good. Now we can actually adjust any part of this. Let's select this face, and I think this is a little long. There we go, something like that. That looks pretty good, and I think this one's a little short actually. So I'll just drag that out some, and maybe make that angle just a little bit smaller. I don't know, something like so. That looks pretty good. And then finally, this guy's looking a little small, so let's just drag that down. There we go. So you can see how easy it is to make these kinds of changes. Now let's say I want to add a couple of holes. Well, now so far we've been using primarily our boss extrude and our boss revolve. But check this out. We have an extrude boss, revolve boss, swept boss, lofted boss, boundary boss, right? Well, look over here. Extrude cut, revolve cut, swept cut, lofted cut, boundary cut. Same 5 tools. And in fact, a little warp into the future here. In the Surfaces tab, extrude surface, revolve surface, sweep surface, loft surface, boundary surface, they're all the same 5 tools, all in different places, doing different kinds of things. So if you learn how to use any one of these tools, you can use all of the other ones. It's really straightforward. So if we want to put a hole in the back of this, let's grab this face, create a sketch there. I'm going to grab a circle, and go ahead and snap to the midpoint of that arc. Do something about like so. That looks pretty good. Go to my features, extrude cut, and we'll go to the right view, how about? And that looks like plenty. We'll just go in something like that. Hit OK, and there we go. Now that looks like it's a little bit too far down, so I'll select this face, bring this a little closer together, select this face, bring this up a little, something like so. And then select this face and just drag that up to where we like it. Perfect. That looks good. Now I'd like to have a hole exactly the same on the other side. Well, we can mirror that. So under our linear pattern features, let's drop that down and head up to mirror. Then I'm going to grab in my feature manager design tree, let's grab the top plane of my camera body. And under Features to Mirror, once again, let's just click the inside face of that extrude cut. SOLIDWORKS will infer that we want that cut extrude, and then just hit OK. Perfect. Now if I select this cut extrude and move it, both of them move, right? We can just position this however we want. Now, a lot of you folks are probably wondering, well, but how do I get that to be perfectly concentric again with the outside? We're going to talk about that later. And if you're OCD person, if your OCD is driving you crazy right now because you really, really need that to be concentric, I'm going to let you look into constraints all by your little self, because we're going to get to those a little bit later. Just hold your horses. We're going to freeform this for now, but we will get there. One more thing. Let's just add another little kind of almost decorative feature. Let's go to fillet. Fillet, not fillet, by the way. If you pronounce it fillet, you're going to get beat up by the cool kids at school because it's called a fillet. And a fillet is a round, basically. It's an edge round. So we're going to grab some of these edges. Let's click this edge and this edge, and it's going to put a great big edge round. That's too big. It's 10 millimeters right now. Let's set that to 2 millimeters. That looks better. And then I'm just going to go through here clicking edges, and you're going to see that these are going to fill it really nicely. Now, these ones won't. And the reason for that is because these two edges are closer than 2 millimeters together, so it's not able to build the fillet. Aw. Well, I just won't do that one yet. I'll do these ones to start with, and then I'll do the other one after. Hit OK. We now have a fillet in place. We'll go back to our fillet tool. I can do this edge, and this one, just like so. Hit OK. And now this guy is all nice and rounded off. Looks nice and clean. But those fillets don't destroy anything. We can always change them. So if I grab this circle, I can still move that hole. If I grab this face, I can still move it down. And if I grab, I don't know, any of these things, I can change it. And in fact, also, if I click a fillet, you'll see there's a little pink line here. Let's grab that pink line and drag it in and out. That is crazy, right? I can change that fillet in real time. Grab this one, change the fillet. Now it's going to change all those because they're part of the same feature. But you get the idea. All right? Very cool stuff.